Hello everyone. This is going to be your first assignment. Uh, we can call it also as an exercise. We are going to use Maya's particle systems and we'll create a simple galaxy um, animation. So, like any other work we do with Maya, we always create a project and then we work with our scenes and other related tools so that everything stays inside a project folder. So let's do that first. This is true for modeling also. If you are creating a model, you create a project and you save it inside that project folder. So file, I'm going to go scroll down, which is here project window. I'm going to click on that, and here is Maya's project window, and it's looking at a default project which will be inside the documents folder, Maya project. So I'm going to go create a new project. So Maya creates a new project for me with all these folders pre-made for me so that I can actually save things in different folders. So new project, I am going to go give my name or my last name underscore basic underscore particles. The next step is where I want this project to be created. So right now it's looking at documents, Maya projects, but I am going to go make it to my desktop. So I'm going to go click on this folder, which opens up my default positions, but I'm going to go select desktop over here, and then I am going to go is select that, and now I accept it. So now I'm going to go show you guys what I created. So this is what I have now. This is the project folder, inside it the subfolders, and that's what Maya created for me. Now is the time for me to really go ahead and start creating the project. As you know that Maya has multiple viewports, and here is we are only in the perspective window, and I'm going to go tap my space bar so it becomes a four view, and now I'm going to go point my mouse to the top view, which is the Y, and tap my space bar to make it full screen so that I have some really decent amount of space to create the animation. So I'm gonna go make it a little bit of more space. I'm pulling it with my middle mouse button and left mouse button and holding the alt key also. So now let us go to the FX tab, which has got all the particle systems. So once we're in FX system, there is a tab called N particles, and if I click on it to expand it, and there's a little line over here, I'll click on that so it's separated from here. So what we are looking at, that this is in a particular type of particles, and if we scroll down over here it says legacy particles. So what they have done is 3 years back they kind of like put everything into a new menu set, otherwise they were all kind of like all around, you know. So what we are going to do is that we are going to go to the um, paint, sorry, looking at N particle tool. All right, so I'm going to go open the option box, and we can call it galaxy. The particle name will be galaxy. And let me just reset it everything. Okay, so this is how you will see, even if you it looks different, just a good habit that when you open this one, go to reset tool and reset it. Now let's start from first. So galaxy, number of particles, I'm going to go make it to, let's say, 20, and max radius. So this value is over here, 1 unit is 1 over here. So I'm going to go make it to 2 unit. Then I'm going to go activate sketch particles. All right. And now I'm going to go keep it over here because I want to see what's happening. Come into the scene. And now I'm going to go click once. I'm holding with left mouse button. I'm going to go to straight. Try to follow the mid center line. I go straight like that. And then again, I'm going to go start from the left, somewhere around here, and go all the way axis to the other side. Let me just move it. Now I'm going to go press enter key. I need to activate it, so I go to the selection tool, so it will accept the particles in the scene. So let me close this one, and also I'm going to go reset it and close it. So I'm going to go back to my perspective view. That is, I'm going to tap my spacebar out of top view and point my mouse to the perspective window, tap it. So let's take a look at what we got. We got a particle system which is across, and here in the right side, what are the things are connected to it. So galaxy, this is the transform, so that means we can actually take it somewhere around here, or say rotate it like that, and all that kind of things. Okay, so I'm gonna go keep it like that, and then galaxy shape. So now I don't want to really go into details right now in every attribute, but we will go as we start getting into a little bit more inside, deeper. We will get into those things. Okay. So here, what I want to show you is the lifespan mode. So that means these particles are going to stay as long as my timeline over here is going to stay, right? So before I do anything over here, I am going to go create a timeline, which I will make it to 500 frames. On the bottom, I'm going to go type 500, and so it's making my timeline. So I'm going to go to file now. I'm going to go save scene because I just started making the file. It is going to go open the file. This is inside the scenes folder, my project, and I'm going to go call it Galaxy 1 underscore 01. That's a version 1. So as I start doing more work, I will keep saving it. All right. So what we are seeing it right now is the particle render type. That's in point. So what are the other things? If we do it multi-point, so it's got a radius. If I click over here, so this is the default settings. You can actually make according to your choice. All right. So every other so multi-point, let's say change to multi-streak, and I don't know whether it's going to go work or not. Let's see whether we have something we can see it or not. Maybe the multi-streak is not going to work. So they're like spheres, you can get it, or streaks, Yes, these are not working with this particular particle systems, but we are going to go keep it with points. All right, and I'm going to go make it to color accumulate on so that they are a little bright. You can make point size bigger or something, but I'll keep it just a default 2. Then we're going to leave these all at default. So let me just double check with my color attribute points to current render type, use lighting. All right, so that's all I have done over here. Now we're going to go add a force to make this simulation start happening. So anytime we're going to go apply any force to any particle systems, we have to make sure that the particle system is selected. So if you don't see it like that, you can always go to your outliner and click over here. It will be selected. Now I'm going to go to the top where all our forces are, which is all these gravity, Newton, radial, vortex. So we're going to go use a vortex field. All right, so I'm going to go open the option box, edit, reset, and then I'm going to go click on create. So what happened is that you can see it created a vortex field, and this vortex field has a position. As usual, like every object will have a position, rotation or scale, etc. And here's the magnitude attenuation axis. This is going to be y-axis, so that's what it's going to be rotating around. So this is the y-axis, and the magnitude is 5. So now one more settings we need to do is going into Windows, settings and preferences, and I'm going to open the preference folder. I am going to go scroll down over here to time slider, and I want to make sure that it is play every frame and max playback speed 24 frames per second. Okay, so then the dynamic simulations will always play correct. So now I'm going to go play here my timeline, and I'm going to go see how my simulation is coming. Right? Okay, I'm going to go rewind. And now if I want to really make it faster, then I probably will use something over here in the magnitude. So let's see that how quickly it's going to come in. So that's your choice, how much you want to do it. I'm going to go leave it at 20 for myself for this particular exercise. And this is what we have now as an animation. But when I rewind, it's going back to the same the beginning position. So we don't want that. We want it to be kind of like a galaxy, kind of like a rotating around and coming. So let's play it for some times that we will like. Okay, so I'm gonna go somewhere around 68. I'm looking at it that I like this shape and everything. So now what I'm gonna do is go to fields and solvers. I'm gonna go slowly into initial state, and the very first one called set for selected. Okay, what is happening is that my vortex is actually selected, not the particles. So I'm going to go select the galaxy, and I'm going to do the same thing. Fields and solvers, initial set for selected. All right, so if I rewind, and now you see I'm in a frame 1, but my particles remained in that same position of what it was at 68, frame 68. All right, so I'm going to go to my file, save scene as. I'm going to make that to 02. Okay, so this is a working area. We are seeing the grid and everything. So how do we render it out just itself, the particles? So let's say we are going to um, do that whole thing as a perspective camera. We'll render the perspective camera and we'll render 500 frames. So in order to do that, we need to go to in the top, see where all these things are here. This is called, come on, pop up. It's called rendering window, render settings. This is the one which is here, is called display render settings. Okay. So now when you open up, you will see Arnold render. We're going to go change this one. So click over here, make it to Maya Hardware 2.0. Then we get the common tab of the Maya 2.0. What file format we're going to be taking it. So I'm going to go make it to um, Targa. This is TGA file format. And then frame slash animation extension. That is very important because this is for any kind of desktop. So that is going to be the third one over here called name dot numbers, that's the hash mark, dot extension. So it will probably produce like a galaxy dot 001 dot TGA. So I'm going to go select that. Now we know that we created a 500 time frame. So start frame at 1, end frame, I'm going to go change that to 500. And yes, we want the camera perspective. We also want the alpha channel so that we can actually put something behind it. And we'll keep the preset as the HD 540. This is as it is. Now, next one is right next to it called Maya Hardware 2.0. So I'm going to go bring it up over here. And I am going to take a look at is motion blur. I'm going to go add the motion blur. And then also I'm going to go click on anti-aliasing. And that also I'm going to go keep it as smooth. Sorry, I'm going to go multi-pixel and I will leave it as 8:2. And that's all from here because we will get a good quality. So now I can actually close it, and if you have not gone to the rendering tab, so go to the rendering tab and you go to render menu and then batch render. So click on that one. So Maya is going to ask you that it's going to go save this file, and then if I bring up my script editor, which was in the extreme corner over here on the right hand side bottom, so Maya is right now calculating rendering with Maya Hardware 2.0, and in a second it's going to go start rendering every frame. So we will have 500 images of this animation render into a folder. So just give it a time. Here we go. So it starts. I'm going to go stop when it is finished, the 500 frame, and come back. Alright, so my rendering is finished and you can see that the result rendering completed. See my rendering log, and here is the number. So 02.0500.tga, that's the file. So we have now, let me just bring up my project folder, and here is the project folder, and I'm going to go to inside the images folder, and you see this has rendered all these 500 frames. So next step is, this is if you are a production house, you are doing this for 3D rendering only, then if what you do is that you give it to the compositors, they will take it and do it. But here We'll just do it in After Effects and see how it comes out. Okay, so I'm gonna go close this one, and if you want to see the animations, so I'm gonna go to File menu, and I'm gonna go to View Sequence, and then it's going to go open a window, and you can see that basic particles, images, galaxy. I'm just going to select the very first frame, and you can see that it has got an alpha channel. That's why you see gray areas underneath, on the behind the scene. So I'm going to go open that one. I just selected one. So here this player is loading all those 500 frames, and once it's done, it will play in the real-time speed. Okay, just give it a second. Yeah, I guess the 500 frame is way too much for that, because it's already gone out of this scene. So anyway, but we will do it in a comp. We can actually cut it out. So now I'm going to go start After Effects. So I'm going to go File, Import, File, and I'm going to go Desktop, my project folder. Where is my project folder? Come on, Desktop. Let me see. All right, so I found that one. So here's the images folder. I'll just select the very first one and open that, and I will go do a guesswork, pre-multiplied mattered with color. So I can click OK. Now I'm gonna go drag this one and drop it over here. Here's our animation, and then when I render this one, I'm not sure, but all right, so that's it. So you can actually make it to a movie, and we'll go from there. Okay.